right, I'm back. Okay, now look. I'm going to show y'all how I make my red beans and rice because fall is just around the damn corner. I don't know what happened to the year 2023. It just flew right on by. But I'm going to go on ahead and show y'all how to make this. Now, I'm going to let you know something right now. If you cannot find these in your local grocery store, get them on Amazon. TY, I can't find them in my grocery store. Where do I just said, get them on Amazon. Here we go. You're going to need 2 green bell peppers, 2 red bell peppers. I got 2 pounds of red kidney beans, some bay leaves. I'm using smoked turkey neck. If you want to use smoked pork, feel free. You just need to make sure you adjust the salt later on down the line. I'm going to use Creole seasoning. If you ain't got slap your mama, use whatever type of Creole seasoning you can find. Garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, cayenne pepper, accent, some garlic. Now, I'm going to be using hot link sausages in this particular recipe. You could also use andouille sausage. Use what you got. I like to use a red onion and also a sweet onion. You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Come on. Now, first things first, before you get too ahead of yourself, you need to make sure that you are washing your beans. By washing your beans, you want to sort through your beans. Any bad beans that come floating up to the top, I like to get rid of them. I drain it off, then I refill it with some clean water. I allow my beans to soak overnight. All right, once y'all nasty asses wash y'all damn vegetables, we're going to go on ahead and start to break them down. Now, it really don't matter how big or how small it is. That is completely up to you. I'm just going to break them down, not even into a small mince because they're going to cook for so long that they're already going to kind of get naturally small on their own. So I'm really just going to kind of go in and give these a rough chop. All right, y'all, so I chopped up both red bell peppers. I only used 1 of the large green bell peppers. I used half of the large sweet onion, and then I used the entire red onion. So now that I got all of this prepped, I can go on ahead and set this to the side. Now, like I said, in my particular recipe, I'm going to be using hot links. You can absolutely use andouille sausage if you would like. This is just what I prefer to use in mine. It's essentially, to me, one and the same, to be quite honest. Everybody calm down. I know they're not the exact same. Breathe. And as you guys can see, I did not fill this up all the way to the top, just barely until it almost covers them. Because once again, I want this to be very, very concentrated, okay? So I'm going to allow this to come up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, I'll reduce it down to a simmer and allow these to cook for as long as they need to until they become nice and fork tender. All right, y'all, so my smoked turkey necks are looking absolutely fantastic. They are at the tenderness of my liking. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove these out of the pot, allow them to get cool enough so that I can just shred the meat off of the bone. I'm going to skim off any of the fat that comes to the top, and then I'm going to reserve all of this liquid because, like I said, when we go to make our rice later on, we're going to be using this stock instead of just plain water, which will impart some great flavor, all right? All right, so I'm going to go on ahead in with that olive oil, and honestly, I'm probably only going to add about a tablespoon because these sausages are going to create enough oil all on their own. I like to start off by browning off my sausages first because that way I'm already starting to build flavor in my pan. All right, y'all. Now, as you can see, these have browned off beautifully. This is what you want because all the stuff at the bottom, this is going to create some delicious flavor throughout your rice and beans. Also, the reason why I like to cook these beforehand because you see all of this damn oil? I'm not about to have all of that oil in my rice and beans. Absolutely not. So what I'm about to do now is I'm going to take all of these sausages out, and then I'm going to show you guys how I remove some of the oil. We're not trying to remove all of it, but a good amount of it. All right, you guys, so I have removed all of the sausages from the pan here, and I've placed them into this mesh strainer so that all of the excess oil can start to drip off because, again, I don't want all of that oil. What I'm simply going to do now is I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to soak up some of this oil, and I'll show you exactly how much I'll leave behind because I do not want all of that in there. Alrighty, I have only left probably about a half a tablespoon worth, to be honest. I'm now going to add in a full stick of the Kerrygold garlic and herb butter. Add that right on in. And the reason why I said there was no need for you to stress about all the stuff that's at the bottom, because all of that's about to lift up from the water that is going to get pulled from your veggies that you diced up. Go on ahead and add all those in. Notice how all of the stuff on the bottom is already starting to come up. This is what I'm talking about. All of that is what that's doing is essentially adding a lot of flavor. I have not added any seasoning to these vegetables, and look at how flavorful they already look. That's exactly what you want. All right, so as you guys can see, our veggies are looking absolutely beautiful. They are just about where I want them to be. I have the sausages right here straining. I have the shredded meat from the smoked turkey necks. As you can see, I kept the bones because those are going to go back into the pot. The purpose was so that I could already get enough meat shredded off. But we're not about to throw those away, baby. We still want the flavor, and then any meat that falls off of it, so be it. And then we have our drained and soaked beans from last night. First things first, add your sausages back in. Next, you want to add in the shredded smoked turkey meat. Just give that a quick mix around. My God, on today. I mean, I know good and well, y'all can probably smell the flavor coming through this damn screen. Next, we're going to add in our beans. And now we're going to go ahead and just mix all of this up before we add in any of the liquid. Fully mix it together. Now that I got that all nicely mixed in together, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add in just enough water to make sure that I cover the top of the beans. This water is also hot. You want to try to avoid lowering the temperature of your pot too much. This is actually just the perfect amount. All right, y'all, so let's go in and let's add some seasoning. So I'm going to go in with some garlic powder. Now, the garlic powder and the onion powder, of course, you can be a little bit heavier handed with because, of course, that does not contain any salt. The onion powder. Y'all know I add damn axe in pretty much every damn thing. Just a few dashes of cayenne pepper because remember you used hot links, or at least I did, so it's already naturally going to have a little bit of spice to it. Then I'm also going to add in some crushed black peppercorn. And then, like I said, I'm also going to be adding in some Slap Your Mama Creole seasoning. Now, with this, I would advise you to be a little bit more on the light-handed side. You can always add more to this. But if you start off with too much, it's going to be ruined. So, honestly, I'm only going to do about a half a tablespoon. And if I need to add more, I can always add it in. Now, I'm going to give this a mix. And then once this comes up to a boil, I'm going to put the lid on it, reduce the temperature, and then I'm going to let this cook for a couple of hours. Alrighty, party people, now that this has come up to a boil, I can now go on ahead and add in the smoked turkey necks, just the bones. I'm just going to place those right up on the top. You want to make sure that you mix it around before you place these in because at this point now you don't want to go in and start mixing things around. That'll also lessen the opportunity for these bones to kind of start shredding apart. I'm also going to go ahead and add in 2 bay leaves. I'm going to go on ahead and put my lid on. Press it down nice and firm, and I'm now going to reduce the temperature down to about a medium low, and I'm going to allow this to go for about an hour. I'll come back and check on it, and I'll see what's happening at that point. So I don't really know when this whole adding flour to red beans and rice became a thing, but we don't do that around here. I took out a couple ladlefuls of just the beans, took out the sausages and the meat, and now I'm going to go in with the potato masher, and I'm just going to naturally mash these up. What this is going to do, it's going to release a lot of extra starch, and it's going to allow your beans to actually thicken up naturally on its own. Please do not add no damn flour to your damn red beans and rice, honey. It's unnecessary. And before I go and add these back in, I went in for a little taste test to see what I needed. So I went in and added just a few more dashes of the onion powder, the garlic powder, a little bit more of the Creole season, and now it's to the saltiness of my liking. I'm going to add in our bean mash, or whatever you would like to call it. Give this one final mix, and now at this point, I'm actually going to go on ahead and leave the top off and allow this to go for an additional 30 minutes. Altogether, the cook time for this recipe was 1 hour and 30 minutes. Jesus, my God. My God. And if you find that you want yours thicker, just mash up more beans. Don't add in no damn flour. Y'all know that I'm a big stickler for washing your rice. So until that water runs clear, you keep on washing it. Then once it's done, like I said, we're going to use this leftover stock here from the smoked turkey necks to fill this up to cook the rice. And yes, I'm going to skim all of that off the top before we continue. Alrighty, and since we did 2 cups of rice, we're going to do 2 cups of the stock. Of course, follow the instructions on whatever your rice cooker is. And here we go. Let's turn this bad boy on. I want this to be on long grain rice. And this, my friends, is what you call red beans and rice. Huh? Look at how thick that is. Ain't no damn flour in this. I don't know who told y'all to start putting flour in it, but it's unnecessary. And just like that, our rice is perfectly cooked. And that there, my friends, is what we call red beans and rice. Look how the sun hit it. Yes, my God, the rice is cooked perfectly. Mm.
Hmm.